Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make this video for you today to talk about some of my top tips that I would give everybody that is beginning to get into makeup or just wants to improve the look of their makeup. These are the things that I feel like everybody should know. If you don't know them already, I'm going to let you know about them. I just started getting into makeup, I would say a little over a year ago, so I am really not that experienced. I literally learned everything I know from YouTube girls. I love YouTube. I love the girls on YouTube. They are so informative and so helpful. I will link a few of my top favorites in the drop bar below so you guys can check them out, because literally everything I know I learned from YouTube. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is moisturizing. I never used to moisturize my skin. I thought I had oily skin, so why would I wear moisturizer? It'll make it worse. No, that is not the truth at all. You need to be moisturizing your skin. Taking care of your skin is obviously the most important part of applying makeup, because your skin is what you're putting the makeup on. So if you take care of your skin, obviously your makeup is going to look better. I use just the simple moisturizer. It is not too heavy. It really just moisturizes my skin the right amount. I have pretty dry skin, and this like does the trick. It doesn't make me oily. I really recommend picking up a moisturizer. You don't necessarily have to use this one, but either way, you need to be moisturizing. That's my number one tip. Two is a primer. I'm always use a primer every time I apply my foundation. I really feel that a primer is so important. A primer allows me to wear drugstore foundations because it primes my skin, it creates a barrier between my skin and the foundation, and it really will make your foundation last all day long, keeps it looking even. I have two different primers right here that I'm going to tell you guys about. I love NYX. I think that NYX is a great, affordable drugstore product. They actually have it in the CVS where we live right now in Crestview. I don't know if you're in Crestview or not, but if you are, the CVS here just started carrying NYX products, and let me tell you, I love NYX. I have this NYX Pore Filler primer right here. You can pick this up for like $10 at CVS. It is a great primer. It just fills in my pores and makes my skin look more smooth whenever I'm applying my foundation. It's amazing. So this is the Napoleon Autopilot Pre-Foundation Skin Primer. It is a high-end primer, but because it was 50% off, I got it for about 20 bucks. It actually says on the back, not to prime is a crime, which I totally agree with. Not to prime is a total crime. But yeah, so primer. Prime your skin before you use the foundation. It is going to make your foundation last all day long, and it is going to keep it looking even, smooth, and just improve your overall look drastically. Number three is skin tone and finding the right foundation for your skin tone. It is so important to know what skin tone you are when you are buying foundation. I'm going to link a site down below that you can use. There's steps that they will give you to determine your skin tone. The sites will give you different steps that you can take to determine it. I know that one of them is holding a white sheet of paper up next to your face, and if your skin has a red undertone to it, then you're warm tone. If your skin has more of a bluish undertone to it, then you're cool toned. There's all kinds of different ways to determine your skin tone, but no matter what way you choose, you want to find out what your skin tone is, so that way when you're buying foundation, you know which foundation you want. These are the Loreal True Match foundations. To me, it's so easy to find your right color in the L'Oreal True Match because they are separated by cool tones, neutral tones, and warm tones. So once you find out what skin tone you are, you can go to the cool tone section and purchase a cool tone that you think looks closest to your skin. Now for me, I fake tan a lot. I am so white naturally, which right now I'm actually like at my natural skin tone, but I do have a self tanner that I use all the time. My skin tone is constantly changing, so I will buy 2 to 3 of the same foundation, and then I will just custom make them every morning whenever I'm getting ready. Does my skin look darker or lighter? Somewhere in between, it doesn't matter, because I would just mix the different colors together to create the right color for my skin that day. I used to be, not that long ago, you can talk to any of my friends and family, the girl with the orange line going down the side of her face, because I just had no idea what I was doing. I never had the right color foundation. I always had a nasty orange line. It wasn't blended. And so to prevent that, you need to find out what your skin tone is. Next thing that I wanted to talk about is how to apply your foundation. Now, I apply my foundation with brushes. And so I have a couple here that I want to talk about with you guys. This is my all-time favorite foundation brush right now. It's not the Sigma one. There's a Sigma F80 Kabuki brush. I will link it down below. I want it. I will have it one day, but today is not that day. This, I feel like, does the same exact thing. And this is a Sonia Kashuk brush from Target. It's just a flat top Kabuki brush, and this is what I use to apply my foundation. It really gives it that airbrush look, and I just use it to pat the foundation into my skin. Once again, not dragging it back and forth, just really using patting motions to push the foundation into my skin, and it gives a beautiful, beautiful finish. I highly recommend this one. And then this is another affordable one that you can get at Ulta. These are Real Techniques brushes, and every Real Techniques brush I've ever used I love. So these are actually created by makeup artists, and they give beautiful finishes. I use this one for my foundation all the time. And then I have another one. This is the Holy crap, I am so tongue-tied right now. I don't even know what's going on. This is the Expert Face Brush, and this is what I use to blend in my concealer with my foundation. Love it. I love all my Real Techniques brushes, like I said. So these are 3 different kinds of brushes that you can use for your foundation. Everybody was asking me about the brushes that I was talking about in the last video, so we're going to kind of go into that. I think that brushes are just as important as the makeup that you're applying on your face, because your brushes are what blend all of your makeup together. They're what keep you from having lines or jagged edges, all sorts of things. If you're going for a full eyeshadow look too, you have to have brushes. They blend the eyeshadow out. You can pretty much use any eyeshadow you want to, as long as you have good brushes to blend the eyeshadow out, blend them together, and just create that seamless look that everybody is trying to achieve. So you don't have to have a ton of brushes. I think it's really important that you guys know that, because I bought a very expensive full brush kit from Sigma, and I don't use half of them. I use the same eyeshadow brushes every single day when I'm applying my makeup. I just don't have any reason to use any other ones. These ones give me the look that I'm going for, and so why not? My first brush that I want to talk about is the Sigma Tapered Blending E40. That blending brush that I used in my last video. And this thing, you need to have one. These are really great for blending your eyeshadow out. They keep you from having those harsh lines that I was talking about. I use this to put my transition color on before I start getting into the detailed work of my eyeshadow. I use this to blend the top of my eyeshadow into my brow highlight. It's amazing. I love this brush. You can pick up a Real Techniques fat fluffy blending brush. Like I said, you can get those from Ulta. This is a Sigma one, and I absolutely love it. The next brush that I use is the Tapered Blending E35 Sigma, and so this is almost the same exact thing. It's just a little bit smaller. So this is what I use to put the darker shadows in my crease when I don't want to be super messy with it. I will use this to blend my shadows out, and it works amazing. Another brush that I love is the Sigma Blending E25, and this is more of a flatter brush. I'll use this more for the outer corners, the darkest parts of my shadow in the outer corner. I'll use this to blend that dark shadow in. And this is the Short Shader E20 Sigma, and this is what I use every single time to put the eyeshadow underneath my lower lash line. This will keep the shadow tight to your lash and keep you from having eyeshadow fall down your face and makes you look like you have a black eye. We don't want that. So this keeps the eyeshadow I want you guys to be able to see it. So this keeps the eyeshadow really tight to your lower lashes and keeps it from smudging all over your face. And that's important. And then I will use the Pencil E30 brush to go back in and blend out the shadow that I put with my short shader on. You have to have a pencil brush. It's so important. If you're going to be bringing the eyeshadow under your eyes, you're going to want to blend it. And in order to do that, you're going to need a pencil brush. So that's super important. So yeah, most of my eyeshadow brushes are from Sigma. And then, like I said, I have a ton of face brushes from Real Techniques and from Target, the Sonia Kashuk line, and I love them all. That's definitely where I would recommend you start with the brushes. Ladies, Christmas is coming up, so you can definitely put it on your Christmas list. Makeup brushes are a must-have. Another really important thing that you need to know about your brushes is that you have to clean them, especially if you're going to be using a flat top kabuki brush or anything like that for your foundation, if you're getting it wet with foundation, you have to keep it clean. It's not going to give you the same flawless a look if you're not cleaning it and you have clumped up foundation in it. So make sure that you wash them. You can use Dawn dish soap. You always keep the brush down so that the water doesn't come back up in the bristle, and you just wash them at night, hang them out to dry, and then the next morning you're good to go. But yes, you have to be cleaning your brushes, especially your foundation ones. Okay, moving on. So I showed you the brushes. Now I want to talk about eyeshadow. You can literally use eyeshadow from anything. I have a few Wet n Wild palettes that cost me $3 to $4. Love them. I have a summer look that I used one of those palettes for. It's like a classic look that I redo over and over again, and I use the Wet n Wild shadows with it. I don't think that you have to have a ton of high-end products to achieve the looks that I am going to be doing. Another brand that I love is Makeup Geek. If you watch any other girls on YouTube, I'm going to be tagging a few of them, like I said, but Jaclyn Hill, she is the one who started using the Makeup Geek shadows and got me onto using them, and they are amazing. They are so much cheaper than MAC shadows, but I seriously can achieve amazing looks with them. They are super blendable, great formula, they're not expensive. They run about $6 a shadow. You can order them online at makeupgeek.com. And they actually sell these palettes too. The palette is like $10. The shadows come ready, and then all you have to do is just pop them on. They're already magnets, and seriously, it's just amazing, amazing. So if you're looking to get a bunch of shadows, I definitely would recommend Makeup Geek. Another shadow that I love using is BH Cosmetics. They have such affordable products, and their eyeshadows actually are amazing. The eyeshadow look that I posted about yesterday with the purple and pinks, I was using all BH Cosmetics, and they have 120 eyeshadow palettes for $10. I mean, you can't beat that, and they're not super chalky or uneasy to work with. They're amazing shadows. BH Cosmetics, Makeup Geek, I definitely recommend them. Another makeup company that is actually coming out with single eyeshadows very soon is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got the Tamanna palette, which is like selling out everywhere, but Just Your Face, she's amazing. I follow her on Instagram, so talented. This is her palette, and I really like the eyeshadows. Their formula on them is great, so whenever the single eyeshadows come out, I would definitely be purchasing those. But yeah, this is definitely by far what I use the most out of everything is the Makeup Geek palette, so I definitely highly recommend this. The next thing I wanted to talk about is highlighting. So whenever you're highlighting, you want to use a concealer that is 2 shades lighter than the foundation that you're using. You don't want to go too light. If you've got white, stark white highlight, it's not going to look good. You just a few shades lighter. So the trick is to kind of have like a slow faded highlight instead of like a stark white highlight. I love using the MAC Prolongwear Concealer for my highlight. It's probably my favorite. You can get these concealers for, I think these concealers are like $16 a piece. They last for a very long time, so you're definitely getting your money's worth when you buy these. They don't crack, they don't fade. My all-time favorite concealer, Holy Grail concealer, is the MAC Prolongwear, and like I said, it's like $16 for this tube, and it's going to last you a very long time, so don't freak out when you see the price. And moving on to contouring, I love to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. This comes with 6 different colors in it. I use the banana powder for setting underneath my eyes. I mix these 3 colors for contouring, and then there is also a highlighter and just a regular face powder in here too. So this can literally meet all of your highlighting and contouring needs. I think the palette is $40. I actually just got mine. If you don't have this, you can use any color bronzer. I have a Hoola Benefit bronzer that I love using, MAC Give Me Sun bronzer that I love using. There's an NYC bronzer that I love using. This is the, I've actually hit pan on it. This is the NYC bronzer in Fire Island Tan, and this is a really beautiful bronzer that you can use for contouring. It's affordable, so if you're anything like me, I love drugstore products. I would much rather use drugstore products in my everyday makeup than high-end products because I can't afford to use nothing but high-end products. So drugstore products definitely do the trick for me, and I love that bronzer. So the last thing that I want to talk about is eyebrows, which I kind of feel like I need to make a completely separate tutorial for eyebrows, but I want to go ahead and tell you guys how I use what I use on my eyebrows and works best for my eyebrows. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing a really dark eyebrow if you're not doing a full eyeshadow look. It's just kind of unnecessary. You can use powders to fill in your eyebrows. There's pencils, there's gels, there is DipBrow, which is what I use. There's all kinds of products that you can use to fill in your brows. It just depends on what kind of look you're going for. I like to do the more glamorous full face look, and so I am usually doing my brows heavy because that goes with the rest of my face. So what I use to fill in my brows is the Anastasia Beverly Hills DipBrow in Auburn, and it is like a, it's so messy, oh my gosh, it is like a pomade. It's like a gel kind of. But I have this angled brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and you can see I'm going to put it on my hand. And I'm telling you what, this stuff, when you put this on your brows, it's not going anywhere, honey. You see that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Your brows, they're going to stay exactly where you put them. I use this to fill them in, and then I'll use a little spoolie to spread out the product. And then just to set them, I will go back in with the tinted Browgel in Auburn too, and this is also Anastasia Beverly Hills. I've used it so much the writing has come off. But yeah, this is what I use to fill in my brows. I also have a brow pencil from MAC that I can use to fill in my brows. I'm not a brow expert. I really am not. It's really important to do your eyebrows if you're going to be trying to achieve a full face full eyeshadow look. You cannot have bare eyebrows with full eyeshadows on because your eyeshadow will be so overpowering and it will make you look crazy. Okay, so you have to do something. If I am just going to be running errands and I'm not putting on a whole bunch of makeup, I'm not doing a full face of makeup, I will just run some brow gel through it. You can also use a shadow. I mean, I can even use an eyeshadow from my Makeup Geek palette to fill in people's eyebrows. I can use one of these lighter tan shadows, one of these darker tan shadows, depending on what color their eyebrows are. You can use powder to do so. Another thing about eyebrows is that you want the end part of your eyebrow to be darker. So once again, we are trying to basically, we want the center of our face to be the lightest and then for it to fade out to create that dimension. So you do not want to have these dark eyebrows. You don't want to have dark eyebrows towards the inner corner of your eye because then it sinks that in instead of pulling it out. So we want to have a lighter color here and then it goes to darker towards the end. So when you're filling them in, remember that you don't want to fill them in a ton in the front. You just want to fill them in slightly in the front and then make it darker as you're moving towards the end of your brow. Okay, so that is all of the tips that I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that you learn a lot from it. I hope that it improves the overall look of the makeup that you're doing. And if you guys enjoy my videos, please subscribe. I will see you next time.